there's a corner of the sea on the coast of Africa that is part of the desert. It looks like a no man's land. Its wild symmetry gives the impression of geographic mismanagement, an absence of boundaries and distances. But nothing in the desert is accidental. Nothing is chaotic or left to the whims of time. It's a perfect embrace, a communion of sand and water and dunes that head toward the sea from the heart of the continent. The waters off the northern coast of Mauritania, at the same latitude as the Sahel, is one of the richest fishing areas in the world. Over the past 30 years, with the complicity of the local government, enormous commercial fishing ships sailing under international flags have exhausted these waters. At the same time, all along the coast, from Nouakchott to Nouadhibou, thousands of men earn their livings by traditional fishing methods in direct competition with the large industrial fishing ships. Men of the Sea is the story of the lives of some of these men and women on the Mauritanian coast.
My name is Bamba Fall. I was born in a fishing village in the south of Mauritania. When I first came to Nouakchott in 1960, it had a population of 3,000. I've spent the past 30 years of my life in this place, Nouakchott port, the heart of traditional fishing in Mauritania. The port is a universe in itself, a cooperative world of men who work for ourselves without any outside help, facing alone the adventure of the sea. My father was a fisherman also. He worked for a French colonel who taught me how to speak French. I had a knack for languages. That, and my obsession with social problems, helped to make me the leader of the Fishermen's Union. Join me, and we will approach the heart of the men of the sea. From the early hours in the morning, the crews prepare to go fishing. Most of the Mauritanian fishermen are black and are originally from the south of the country and from Senegal. Until a few years ago, the upper classes considered fish a vulgar food, and no one ate it. Today, fish is a part of everyone's diet and has become big business. Despite the good situation right now, traditional fishermen live on the edge. We are considered an inferior caste within a society dominated by Arabs. The sea produces and the sea is fished out. But the distribution of profits and suffering is unjust. My friend Ibrahim Ould Mbarak has captained fishing ships since he was 21. Today, he goes out to sea again with his crew after several days in dry dock due to a serious accident. The fishing takes place not far from shore. As they sail, the men scan the horizon in search of schools of fish. When they spot one, they throw their nets over and make a perfect circle, creating a bell effect around the school and trapping the fish inside. While the main crew works from the pinnace, a second boat pulls the other end of the net by motor. It has to be a quick and forceful action so the fish don't escape. Throughout the workday, this activity is repeated over and over again until they reach their goal or drop from exhaustion. This time they had no luck. The net was thrown too late and the fish had time to get away. But the day is long and they will keep trying.
Only a few years ago, this place didn't exist. Mauritania's economy was based on mining and shepherding in the interior. The decline in the price of metals in the 1980s and the overwhelming number of people who abandoned the nomadic life forced the Mauritanian authorities to look to the sea. Traditional fishing is an example of how civil society, in Africa too, is able to survive spontaneously and cooperatively despite difficulties. Today, 1/3 of the population of Nouakchott makes its living directly or indirectly from the activity generated by the port. If traditional fishing is an example of social survival, Bamba Fall is a survivor of his own personal struggle. The Fall family is from the lowest caste among the Wolof, the ethnic group to which they belong. Of captive origin, they are traditionally bound to the hardest labor. His interest in learning French and in furthering his education broke the bonds of this caste system. In today's Mauritania, still dominated by racial and class conflicts, hundreds and thousands of men and women dedicate their lives to fighting for freedom. Bamba Fall is one of them. From his job in the union, he works to inform the fishermen of their rights.
Sabir Taw is like a father to me. He is also the imam of the mosque in the port and the oldest active fisherman in Mauritania. He has 15 children and 4 wives. Old Sabir, I would like you to tell me what fishing was like when you arrived here, and about the fishermen's problems today.
When we first came here, there were no modern materials to fish with, but there were lots of fish. I remember that we went out to sea for short periods and returned with the boat full. Around 1960, we started to buy motors in Senegal, and fishing became easier. In recent years, we've suffered the arrival of big ships, and the fish are disappearing. Before, we didn't have to go very far off the coast. Now, each time we have to go farther out to fish. Furthermore, the price of the machines goes up while the price of fish goes down.
Most of the men who work in the port are very young. Tell me, what kind of education do your children receive?
Our fathers educated us to be accustomed to life on the sea. Our children have never had problems with anyone because you'll never find the son of a true fisherman in a police station. If you want your child to have a good education, you have to bring him here, to this fishing village. Look at these boys with the nets. None of them is rude or a thief. If you get up early in the morning, go to work and come back late and very tired, you'll never feel like robbing or bothering anyone.
Sabir Taw is not only the oldest fisherman here and the imam of the mosque, he is also a man who, like Bamba Fall, has fought and still fights for the rights of the fishermen. He knows that it is not easy to fight against the people who control the country, but he has no doubt about the causes and consequences of his problems.